first question is just asking about the prophets Salih and Hud.
They don't exist in the Bible, so who cares about them? The Bible doesn't know of any Salih or Hud. So what do you want me to talk about?
Because there's I heard that there's archaeological proof of them existing and the people of
Okay, so if there's okay, all right. So what's if they exist or they don't? Fairy tales of the ancients that Muhammad parroted. So what about them? Because even the Quran says that the people were telling it, Muhammad, this is nothing new. You're simply repeating the fairy tales of the ancients. Okay.
so that's like the Christian stand on these prophets. They're just they don't exist or they're not
Who
part
cares?
of.
Because the Bible doesn't mention them, so they're irrelevant to us. Salih and Hud. Who are they? Nobody knows.
Okay,
Muhammad knows, but who cares? Muhammad doesn't matter.
okay, yeah. Because I tried reading about them from the Answering Islam, but I couldn't find like anything
Yeah, well,
really.
answer.
I just wanted to ask, but it's not really
Salih
important.
and Hud are people mentioned in the Quran that have no reference in any book of the Jews and Christians. So if they existed, they were known to the Arabs. But that's why the Arabs said that Muhammad writes down the fables and the fairy tales of the ancients. That's what he says in chapter 25, verses 4 to 6. He is writing down the fairy tales and the fables we've heard. He's not giving us anything new. These are stories we already know. And he's having people write them down and recite it to him. That's what chapter 25, verses 4 to 6 says. So if there was a Salih and Hud, well, then that means they were pagan soothsayers that these Arabs looked to as messengers. Okay, big deal. What does that got to do with the Bible? What does it got to do with Bani Israel or Jesus? Nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing. I was just asking because I mean, if there's archaeological proof and the people of their tribes to
I am
this
not
day have.
aware of any archaeological proof, but if they say there is, then okay, what's the big deal? Because Muhammad is mentioning people that his audience would know, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
His audience would know, right?
yeah,
So they were known to them, right?
yeah. Of course,
So
there's a
why
lot
would
of
it shock you then that there were people who were known by the Arabs that went around telling them about morality, and now we have some archaeological inscriptions showing that there were individuals by that name known to the Arabs. Okay, well, I'd expect that Muhammad, if he composed the Quran, is going to mention individuals that others knew of. Okay, just like he mentions Isa. Well, I know Isa is supposed to be Jesus, and I know Jesus existed. Okay, what does that prove exactly to the Muslim? Nothing. That Muhammad is an ear and he's writing down the stories that he's hearing from people. That's what the Quran says. Here, let me show it to you. But okay, so any other question on that point, or what did you need on that one?
on this point. No, actually, the two questions I have are the only
Okay.
doubts I have right
Now let me
now.
show you, before you give me the two questions, let me show you that even Muhammad's contemporary said, this is nothing new. He's only repeating the fables that we already know. Chapter 25, verses 4 to 6. Here, Quran says that's what they were saying to Muhammad. Chapter 25, verses 4 to 6. The unbelievers say, this is not but a calumny he has forged. He made it up. And other folk have helped them to it. So they have committed wrong and falsehood. They say fairy tales of the ancients that he had written down so that they are recited to him at the dawn and the evening. Say, he sent it down who knows the secrets in the heaven and the earth. He is all forgiving, all compassionate. So, okay, fairy tales that he heard and he wrote down. And they're saying, we know this. This is the fairy tales of the ancients. These are stories we've heard for centuries. Now he's claiming Allah revealed it to him. Get the hell out of here. That's what they're saying. But go ahead.
Okay,
You like that,
so
you like
okay,
that, huh?
so yeah, yeah, yeah.